As you can see, I'm not pregnant anymore, so I wanted to share Brooks's birth story because it was kind of crazy and not at all what I was expecting. Okay, so the night before Brooks was born, I was having a pretty normal day, and then around 6 p.m. I started having contractions about every 20 minutes, but it wasn't enough to be concerned and they weren't super close together. So I just went about my normal day. I went out to dinner with my in-laws, and then we came home from dinner and I was like, okay, I feel super weird. And so I just decided to take a shower and go to bed, and this was around like 9 p.m. And then I wake up around 2 a.m. and I was like, I am so uncomfortable. And when you're 39 weeks pregnant, you're never really comfortable, but this was a different type of uncomfortable. So I'm just like tossing and turning in bed. I can't really fall asleep. And then 2 hours pass, and at 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm having contractions. This is serious. So I pull out my contraction timer, and the contractions are coming about every 5 to 7 minutes. My whole pregnancy, I've been praying and I've been like, Heavenly Father, if I'm gonna go into labor naturally, I'm gonna need a big sign. I'm gonna need my water to break or something. So then 5 a.m. rolls around and I'm just laying there, timing my contractions, and all of a sudden I feel this huge gush. And I turn to my husband and I'm like, Blake, wake up, I think my water broke. And I jump out of bed, I turn on the lights, and instead of a bunch of water in our bed, it was a bunch of blood. So we quickly grabbed our hospital bags and we got in the car. Luckily our hospital is only about 10 minutes away, so we're speeding to the hospital. My hair is still kind of damp from showering the night before, but that's okay. And we get to the hospital, and since it's before 6 a.m., all the hospital doors are locked except the emergency room, and so we're driving all around the hospital just to find an open door, and now my contractions are getting closer together, so I'm freaking out a little bit. And then we finally get an open door and they put me in a wheelchair and they wheel me off to labor and delivery. And when I get to labor and delivery, I have a nurse admit me immediately. I just tell her what's going on and that I was bleeding a lot, and they check me and I was almost at 6 centimeters and 90% effaced. So they immediately admit me into a room and they're like, yeah, you're in active labor. Luckily, the bleeding was just from my cervix dilating and nothing was wrong. And my biggest worry about labor and delivery was not getting an epidural in time. So I immediately ordered an epidural and they were able to come in. My anesthesiologist was great. I had no bad side effects. It was a great experience. So after that, they send the labor and delivery nurse in, and she was super awesome. And she was like, I'm just gonna rotate you. We're gonna get the peanut ball and we're gonna get you dilated to a 10 super fast. So she did all that, and sure enough, I did dilate to a 10 like pretty quickly in a couple hours. So around 10 a.m., I'm at 10 centimeters and we're just waiting for my OB to finish a surgery to come in the room and deliver me. Finally, my OB comes in and I'm just chilling, and she's like, okay, let's have a baby, let's push him out. And pretty much every single person told me that with your second baby, you're gonna push for 5, 10, 15 minutes. It's gonna be super fast. So this is what's in my head and what I'm totally expecting. Almost 45 minutes go by and I am still pushing, and I'm starting to get in a lot of pain. Luckily I had an epidural, so it wasn't like horrible, but it was definitely to the point where I was really uncomfortable and kind of almost on the point of tears. And then something weird happened. My contractions started going from every 2 to 3 minutes to every 5 to 6 minutes. So my OB was like, okay, let's see what's going on. And they quickly discovered that Brooks was sunny side up, and I had no clue what that meant. So when babies are sunny side up, instead of their heads facing down and their faces facing the floor when they come out, their faces are facing up towards the ceiling, kind of just like this. And apparently when babies are sunny side up, it's a lot harder to push them out because it's the bigger part of their head coming out first. So they told me what was going on, and basically I just needed to keep pushing, and that they were gonna put me on Pitocin to get my contractions closer together. So once my contractions started picking up, I just pushed, and it was honestly so hard. And there was a point where I was like, I can't do this. It had been an hour, I was exhausted, and then I just said a prayer and I felt so much peace, and I started tearing up because I was like, I'm gonna meet my baby soon. And so then I just kept pushing, and then all of a sudden, all the extra doctors and nurses came in the room, which meant he was about to come out. And he came out, and I got to hold him right away, and it was seriously just the best experience, and I would do it 10 times over again. Both my deliveries have been really great and experiences that I'll never forget. I'm so grateful to be a mom. And if you're having a baby soon, just know that it's gonna be one of the best days of your life.